Hello Nippies, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Nips, a freelance artist, and today we are here yet again with another Thirsty Thursday, because on this channel, the thirst never ends, and it's just me trying to quench everyone's thirst constantly. And as usual, for those of you that don't know what it is, I go ahead and I take suggestions from Patreon for shows, video games, anything, and we take the winning one and we bring it over to Twitch and we take characters from said series and thirstify them because, you know, why not? And so the winner for this Thirsty Thursday was Street Fighter, specifically Street Fighter 6. And I was just so excited because I have always loved Street Fighter designs, and not only that, but all the skins and variations of their outfits are also very fun. And the one thing that does indeed intimidate me are the muscles. And I know you guys compliment me a lot on my knowledge of anatomy and how good it looks, but let me tell you, it really, a lot of it is fake it till you make it. And I try not to let that seep through as much as I can. But I think where I wouldn't say lack of knowledge, but maybe it is quite literally a lack of knowledge kind of shines through is when I have to draw super muscular characters, which we all know Street Fighter is just full of. And so anything Street Fighter related, I already know I have to prepare myself to challenge my artistic skills and knowledge. And if you paid attention to the speed paint at the beginning, normally I do kind of like a warm-up with Thirsty Thursdays, and since Street Fighter doesn't really have a mascot, which is what I typically use as my warm-up, I decided to just do like a quick Chun-Li scribble because, you know, Street Fighter poster girl, how could you not? And we all know about Chun-Li's size. Listen, we've seen it, we want them, we're scared by them in the best way possible, and so I was like, okay, this is a pretty good thing to warm up with. And it just did not go well. I remember me not having a very good day. I was a little bit rusty at the beginning of the stream, so that played a factor. But oh my goodness, it was just not going well. I tried several poses. I couldn't even get a basic figure study done once I had a reference. So I was scared for the rest of the stream. But as soon as I started drawing the first character, which is Aki here, she's been on the screen for a bit now, but I was so happy because I had seen this character floating around and I really wanted to draw her. I've drawn her once in a 6pan Arts meme drawing, and I think at that point I didn't truly understand the personality of the character. I kind of had just taken the outfit without thinking too much about the character's like general vibe. And so when I finally got to redraw her here, I had watched a couple trailers, like gameplay videos. And so once I understood the aesthetic more, I was even more excited because it's just like such a quirky and unique character. I absolutely love how this character moves. If you have not seen a gameplay video of this character, I cannot stress enough to just watch it. Even if you don't play Street Fighter, I think the characterization that they made of this character is so incredibly fun. And it was very inspiring once I got around to kind of posing her in the drawing. I feel like I didn't do enough justice to what it could have been from what I saw in the videos, but it was still very fun. I added the poison kind of stabby stabs at her fingertips, and it kind of just like wrapped them around her with like the pink chains that she has. And I made like a sexy kind of mesh version of her outfit, little underboob, because if you're no stranger to this channel, then you know that I love a good underboob. And I was super excited because once you zoom in, and if you paid attention to how I got the mesh going, I downloaded some mesh/pantyhose brushes on Clip Studio, which if you're interested, you should definitely look them up in the Clip Studio Asset Store. It is one of my favorite sets of brushes because, oh my god, the mesh just looks beautiful, seamless, and it just adds such a nice touch to your drawing. If any of your characters have that sort of texture on them, highly recommend, give it a download. It'll be so satisfying. So I was really excited to just kind of slap that on her legs, and I feel like it just elevated the drawing. So if anything, it might be carrying the whole drawing, to be quite honest. What I really wanted to carry the drawing, though, was the face, and I feel like I just did not get the face vibe that I needed. I kind of like skirted by with something kind of passable, but I feel like Aki's face is probably the most iconic part of her design, if not obviously the hair, but I feel like the face really just like pushes the kind of character that she is. And I was kind of disappointed with how I executed it. I feel like I just didn't get that like sly, sneaky, kind of seductive kind of vibe. So maybe one day I'll go back and edit it. I do sometimes, nowadays especially, I kind of have gotten a little bit more comfortable just putting a piece down. Even if there's something that I really don't like about it, I try not to harp on things too much and be like, okay, I finished the piece. It may not be exactly as I want it, but it's okay to just call the piece done and accept that that's how it is, take what I learned, move on to the next piece. And once I've kind of rested a bit and just kept drawing other things, I can come back, and if I really wanted to, then I could fix it. And so I feel like approaching things that way has made me feel a lot better mentally. I feel like the more I obsess over things being perfect, it just kind of makes me feel bad about my art constantly. So it's not something that I'm very good at yet, but it's a new energy that I'm trying to channel, okay? But more importantly, let's get into the topic of what is going on your screen right now, because we're drawing Juri, okay? She is one of my favorite Street Fighter characters. Oh my god, I love teal, I love magenta, just such a fun design. And if there's anything we know about Juri is that one of her selling points are her feet, okay? The fandom that's just how it is, okay? And if you watch the trailer, she does have a lollipop and a phone that she takes a selfie with. And I was like, okay, well, let's lean into the feet thing, okay? Because it's Thirsty Thursday, okay? If there's any other time to be shameless and lean into the thirst, it would be Thirsty Thursday. So I decided to do that, and I was like, what if she was taking a selfie, eating the lollipop, but she was holding the lollipop with her feet? And I decided to just run with it, because what else am I supposed to do? And so I have no other explanation for myself, okay? That's what I'm telling myself to cope. The pose was pretty exciting. There was a lot of challenges as far as like anatomy goes and just getting it to look pretty realistic. I did indeed at one point pause the stream so I could take a picture of myself doing the pose. No, that picture will not be made public. So I could just make sure that I was getting everything correctly, and I got pretty close actually, so I am very proud of that. I did mention in the last video that I wanted to put my characters in more backgrounds, and while these are not necessarily what I would consider more backgrounds as I originally intended, I am very happy that they aren't just like squares in the sense of plain colors. So for the Aki one, I was like, okay, let's actually add some like patterns or some, listen, small steps, okay, small steps. So I decided to just add some chains. And then for Juri's, it kind of was turning into a flat square situation, but I decided to kind of try and go with like a wall where there was like a very big flash from the camera and like her reflection was there. So technically still kind of a square, but you know, I kind of played it off as a wall. I probably could have put some like posters or something on the wall, but slowly but surely, I am trying to tell myself that it is a small step and I'm trying to get there. I think going from this to full-on backgrounds is probably too big of a step for me, especially since, if you notice, there are only 2 pictures. So normally Thirsty Thursdays are an average of 4, 1 for the mascot, 3 characters, and this one was 2. If you want to count the failed Chun-Li, I guess you can say 3, but 2. And so I was already kind of running behind, but even though there was only 2, I am very, very, very proud of how these turned out, anatomy-wise, coloring, composition, like expressions. So I will say it was worth it. I took my time and I think it paid off. And especially the not safe for work versions of these drawings, which are on Patreon or my shop on my website. Oh my gosh, I feel like I knocked it out of the park. I think I really did. And so if you guys are interested in seeing those, I want to put the links down below. But even just these, I think I did a great job. I really enjoy the lighting I did for Juri. I think the harsh flash lighting is something that I really enjoy. I do love me a good contrast. So like the bright light mixed with like the harsh black shadows is just like a guilty pleasure of mine. And I honestly don't do it enough. I feel like there's very rare situations where I can apply that lighting, but I kind of reminded myself just now, maybe I could just inject it pretty selfishly in some of my future drawings. So I guess I got to put a pin on that for myself. But overall, I am indeed super happy with how these turned out. Always looking forward to the next Thirsty Thursday, which, oh my goodness, I have one more speed paint commentary backed up. So the next one is going to be on Resident Evil, and that one did not go too well, but you know what? Every day is a learning day. And as I am filming this, the next one is this week on Hades 2. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And so you'll probably get the speed paint commentary of that one in a couple weeks. And yeah, if you don't like this series, I am so sorry. Hopefully I'll get some other content for you soon. I do post a lot on TikTok, or at least I'm getting back to it. Lots of short form content there with tutorials. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe. Oh my God, I really want to hit 100K. Thank you so much for supporting, especially on Patreon, where I post so much. We've got works in progress, sketchbook, new merch, spicy drawings. We've got VODs, speed paints, tutorials, comic behind the scenes, everything. So thank you again, and I will see you guys next video. Bye.